Welcome to Sportpen.
Great to be here.
Today we're diving into October 3rd, 1934. World Series, Game 1. St. Louis Cardinals, Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, the battle for the World Championship. The stakes couldn't really get much higher than this.
And the atmosphere in Detroit at Navin Field sounds like it was electric.
Oh, absolutely. You've got, 47,000 fans officially packed in, and apparently thousands more just milling around outside trying to get in somehow.
Wow.
People were so hyped. You hear stories, maybe exaggerations, maybe not, of folks camping out for bleacher seats like 2 days ahead.
2 days in October weather.
Well, yeah, it was described as festive, but definitely chilly. Reports mention overcoats, even furs in the stands. Gives you a real sense of the buzz despite the cold.
And leading these teams, you had two legends, really. Frankie Frisch for the Cards, Mickey Cochran for the Tigers.
And both playing managers, which is just fascinating. They're not just making calls from the bench.
Right, they're in the thick of it.
Exactly. And both known as real money players, guys who delivered in the clutch.
It's amazing how they kind of embodied their teams, too. Frisch, the heart of that gritty gashouse gang.
Yeah, all scrap and hustle. And Cochran, this intense figure who really fired up Detroit. Having them both on the field, managing and playing, it had such a layer to the whole series.
And the talent around them. Stacked rosters on both sides.
Oh, for sure. The Cards had Pepper Martin's energy, Medwick's bat, the Dean brothers looming large on the mound.
Then the Tigers counter with Cochran himself, the smooth Charlie Gehringer, Hank Greenberg's power, Schoolboy Rowe. Just a ton of star power.
A real collision course. And going into Game 1, the pitching matchup was key. Dizzy Dean for St. Louis against Al Crowder for Detroit.
And Dean really wanted this start, didn't he?
He did, apparently lobbying hard for it. That tells you all you need to know about his confidence, wanting to face that Tigers lineup right away. Everyone felt this matchup could really set the series tone.
So let's paint the picture. Who was actually out there for Game 1 for St. Louis?
Okay, so leading off, surprisingly maybe, Pepper Martin playing third, then Frisch at second, Medwick in left, Rip Collins at first, Bill Delancey catching, Ernie Orsatti in center, Leo DeRocher at short, and Dizzy Dean pitching, of course.
And for the home team, the Tigers.
Leading off for Detroit, JoJo White in center field, then Cochran catching, Gehringer at second, Greenberg at first, Goose Goslin in left, Billy Rogel at short, Marv Owen at third, Pete Fox in right, and Al Crowder taking the mound. Those initial lineups, they give you a peek into the manager's thinking right from the start.
And one last bit of color, the umpires rotated daily, clockwise.
Yeah, a little quirky detail meant Owen was behind the plate for this first game, calling balls and strikes.
All right, scene set. So how did things actually kick off in the first inning?
Well, for the Cardinals, it started kind of quiet. Pepper Martin, usually spark plug, was out quickly at first. Frisch did get on base, but on an error. Medwick followed that with a single, so runners on first and second, one out.
A little something brewing.
Looked like it, but then Collins flew out. So no score for the Cards in their first at-bat.
And how did Dizzy Dean handle that potent Tigers lineup in the bottom half?
Pretty well, actually. He got the first two hitters, White and Cochran, out at first. Routine plays.
Good start for him.
Then Charlie Gehringer managed to slap a single to left field. That was Detroit's first hit. But Dean shut the door right after, got Hank Greenberg to ground out. So still scoreless after one. Solid beginning for Dean.
The second inning, though, that felt like where things started to get a bit messy, especially defensively for the Tigers.
That's putting it mildly. Yeah, errors really started to play a role. For the Cardinals, Delancey flew out first. Then Orsatti singled. DeRocher flew out, making it 2 outs. But then Dizzy Dean, the pitcher, reaches first safely. Not on a hit.
An error.
Yep, Gehringer booted it at second, and it snowballed. Next batter, Pepper Martin, also reaches first on another error, this time by Owen at third.
Wow. Bases loaded on 2 errors with 2 outs.
Exactly. You could just feel the pressure cranking up on Crowder and the Tigers' defense.
That's a huge moment early in the game.
And Jack Rothrock made them pay. He singled to left center, scoring 2 runs. Just like that, St. Louis jumps out in front.
Big hit. Capitalizing on those mistakes.
Totally. Frisch then grounded out to end the inning, but the damage was done. Those errors were costly.
But the bottom of the second wasn't exactly smooth sailing either, right? There was that injury.
Yeah, a bit of drama there, too. Goslin singled for Detroit. Then Billy Rogel reached first. Guess what? Another error.
Goodness.
So runners on, they try for a double play on a grounder. Goslin's out at second. But during that play, Frankie Frisch gets hurt. Looks like his shoulder.
Did he stay in?
He did, which says a lot about his toughness. But you have to wonder, if that lingered. Anyway, Marv Owens struck out to end that inning. A pretty sloppy frame all around.
It's really striking how those early defensive lapses just handed the Cardinals chances.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, it wasn't over. Top of the third, Medwick gets another single.
He was starting to heat up.
Then, after a fielder's choice got the runner at second, Collins ends up on second because of another error, this time by Rogel at short.
This is unbelievable.
It gets better or worse, depending on your perspective. Delancey then reaches first on another error, this one by Greenberg at first. Bases loaded again for the Cards, only one out this time.
They had to blow it open there, right?
You'd think so, but they couldn't quite deliver the knockout. Orsatti flew out, DeRocher flew out. Huge missed opportunity for St. Louis to really put the game away early. Left the door open a crack.
And did the Tigers manage to walk through that door in the bottom of the third?
They squeezed through a bit, yeah. Dean walked a batter, got a ground out. For the Tigers, Pete Fox flew out. Then Crowder was actually pinch hit by JoJo White.
Crowder done early.
Yeah, White flies out. But then another JoJo White draws a walk. Cochran grounds out. But Gehringer comes through with a single scoring White. Detroit's on the board. Gehringer even got to second on, you guessed it, an error. But Dean buckled down and struck out Greenberg to end the threat. So after 3 messy innings, it's 3-1 Cardinals.
Okay, so the fourth inning.
Yeah.
Did things settle down a bit?
They did, yeah. A much cleaner inning. Top half, Dizzy Dean flew out, though. Goslin made a really nice running catch on that one.
Defensive highlight, finally.
Right. Then Pepper Martin struck out. Rothrock flew out. Bottom half, Dean set the Tigers down in order. Goslin, Rogel, Owen. Quick inning. Much needed breather, probably.
But you mentioned Medwick heating up. He wasn't quiet for long. 5th inning?
Nope. Joey Medwick definitely made his presence felt. Top of the 5th, Frisch flies out. Then Medwick just crushes one. Home run.
Boom. Extending that lead.
Made it 4-1 Cardinals. That felt like a big momentum boost for them. Collins walked after that, but Delancey and Orsatti couldn't drive him in.
And the Tigers' response in the bottom of the 5th?
Not much. Dean got Fox to fly out. White singled, but then Cochran flew out. So Medwick's homer stands as the big moment there.
And then we get to the 6th inning. This sounds like where the Cardinals really broke it open.
Oh, yeah. This was the big one for St. Louis. A real offensive explosion. DeRocher flew out to start things.
Okay.
But then Dizzy Dean helps his own cause with a single. Pepper Martin follows with another single. Runners on first and second.
Rally time.
Rothrock lays down a perfect sacrifice bunt. Dean scores from second. It's 5-1.
Smart baseball.
And they weren't done. Medwick steps up again. Another single. Martin scores. 6-1.
Medwick was just on fire.
Unstoppable. Collins singles right after him. Medwick hustles to third. And then Phil Delancey delivers the big blow, a double. Clears the bases, scoring Medwick and Collins.
Wow, 4 runs in the inning.
Yep. Suddenly it's 8-1 Cardinals. Orsatti grounded out eventually, but the damage was massive. That really felt like it put the game out of reach.
But the Tigers, to their credit, didn't just quit. They answered back a little in their half of the 6th.
Showed some fight, for sure. Gehringer grounded out, but then Greenberg singled and alertly took second on yet another Cardinals error.
What's happened?
Goslin followed with a single, driving in Greenberg. So they clawed one back, made it 8-2. Rogel grounded out, Owen struck out. But at least they showed a pulse.
7th inning. Did the pace slow down again after all that action?
Very much so. Quick, quiet inning. Top half for the Cards. DeRocher ground out. Dean strikeout. Martin ground out.
And the Tigers?
Same story. Fox fly out. Elon Hogsett, who'd come in to pitch, actually bunted foul for strike 3. And White struck out. 3 up, 3 down for Dean. Very uneventful after that 6th inning fireworks.
Okay, on to the 8th. And Hank Greenberg wasn't quite finished for the day, was he?
No, sir. He reminded everyone of that power he had. Top of the 8th, Cardinals threatened a bit. Rothrock singled. Frisch sacrificed him to second. Medwick flew out, but Rothrock tagged and went to third. Collins grounded out, though, stranding him there.
So bottom of the 8th?
Cochran grounds out. Gehringer flies out. 2 down, nobody on, and then Hank Greenberg connects. Home run!
Just like that. A solo shot.
Yep.
Must have given the Detroit crowd something to cheer about late in the game. Goslin grounded out after that. But Greenberg's homer made it 8-3. Still a big lead, but, a statement.
So, heading into the 9th, Cardinals comfortably ahead, but maybe a little late life from the Tigers. How did Dean close it out?
Top of the 9th first, Delancey flew out. Dick Barrett, who was in for Orsatti, got a single. DeRocher hit into a fielder's choice.
Barrett out at second. Then Dean grounded into a force out, DeRocher out at second.
Okay, bottom 9, last chance for Detroit.
Rogel led off with a single, keeping hope alive, maybe.
A glimmer.
But Fox hit into a force out at first, 1 out. Then G. Walker, another sub, came up and struck out. And that was it. Game over.
Cardinals take Game 1, 8-3. A pretty convincing win on the road to start the series.
Yeah, decisive is the word.
Looking back at it all, what were the moments or performances that really defined this game for you?
Well, you absolutely have to start with Joey Medwick. His offense was just immense.
4 hits.
4 hits, yeah. The home run, 3 singles, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. He was a force. That homer in the 5th really felt like it shifted things permanently in the Cardinals' favor.
And on the other side, while it was late, you can't ignore Greenberg's power.
No, definitely not. That 8th inning homer, even though the game was likely decided, it showed that fight, that individual brilliance the Tigers possessed, a reminder of what they could do.
Were there any other standout plays, maybe defensively, that stick out?
Well, Gosselin's running catch in the 4th was definitely a highlight, saved extra bases, and Rogel made some good plays at short despite that 1 error.
Right.
But, the story on defense really has to be the errors. Those 5 Tigers errors,
Yeah.
They were just killers.
Yeah, you can't give a team like the Cardinals that many extra outs.
Especially not in the World Series. It directly led to runs and really put Detroit behind the 8 ball early.
And the pitching. We talked about Dean wanting to start.
Dean got the win, pitched a solid, complete game. Maybe not his sharpest stuff ever, but effective. He battled through. Crowder, on the other hand, just didn't have it and got knocked out early.
It's also kind of interesting how many runners both teams left on base.
Yeah, that's true. Despite the 11 total runs, there were a lot of missed opportunities, too. Suggests maybe the score could have been even higher or perhaps closer if the Tigers had cashed in more.
So a game marked by standout hitting from Medwick, late power from Greenberg, but ultimately defined quite a bit by those defensive struggles for Detroit.
I think that sums it up well. Medwick was the offensive star, Greenberg showed flashes, but those errors really tilted the field in favor of St. Louis right from the outset. A tough way for the Tigers to start the series at home.
Thanks for listening to Sportpen.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And maybe think about this. How much did those early defensive mistakes and Medwick's hitting set a psychological tone? Did it shake Detroit's confidence? And what adjustments could Mickey Cochrane possibly make heading into Game 2 after such a, error-filled opener? Something to chew on.